Don't touch that keyboard. Right now, it's the Socks Out Racing, iAnalyzeRacing.com V8 Super Truck Series. Join us in Brazil next on iRacing Live and RaceSpot TV after these short messages.
Fuel usage.
Averaging 0.10 gallons per lap.
Pit stop, add 5 gallons. Change right side only.
Hitbox in 10, 9, 8, 1. Bingo. 10-4, adding 5 gallons. Changing right side tires.
RaceSpot TV is live from Sao Paulo, Brazil, as we proudly bring you our first year of coverage for the Socks Out Racing, iAnalyzeRacing.com V8 Super Truck Series. Hello, sim racing fans, and welcome to Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. My name is Cisco Scaramuza, and alongside my broadcast colleague of Jake Sperry, and along with Chris Murdoch, we'll be with you all season here on RaceSpot TV and iRacing Live. Paul Smith is down in the production truck pushing the buttons and getting the picture you see to you. Well, Jake, we're so excited to be covering this series for the first time, and what better track to kick it off than the one known as Interlagos.
Absolutely, Cisco, and what you have to look at a circuit like this, it encapsulates everything that a circuit should. It has fast corners and slow corners. It has amazing undulation changes throughout the circuit, and what it does breed is side-by-side racing that you don't often see. Now, this circuit is quite difficult, especially with what is coming up. Qualifying currently underway here, Cisco, and everyone waiting as they look to start their first flying laps.
Absolutely. Gregor Hutu, Hugo Luis, Yoni Tormala are just some of the names who have won here in Brazil on the iRacing service. But Jake, let's talk about what sets this series apart from many other road series we see on iRacing Live, these NASCAR Camping World trucks. 3,400 pounds, 4-in-the-floor V8, 625 horsepower, brakes made out of cheese, and one of the biggest chassis available on the service today. These aren't F1 cars, and that means you're going to need some serious skill and some guts to get behind the wheel today.
Yeah, you certainly are, and of course, you're finding yourself in a situation where you can get up to speeds of about 170 miles an hour, and you need to really be careful about how you play with the brake here. It's not the strongest one in the world, so you have to make sure that you are precise with where you hit your markers. It will be very easy come the race starts and maybe knock into one and the other, and, you know, for what is normally a car that you see only going in one direction, that direction being left, you know, seeing it having to tackle some right as well, it's going to be a challenge. But on an anti-clockwise circuit like this one here, Cisco, you have to say it is favouring those who have more of a personality trait towards the oval racing that this produces.
Yeah, and the good news is that these guys have already been out on track during the weekend. I mean, they had a practice session yesterday that saw Mika Eshouse on top of the board with a lap time. He beat his previous track record by 2 full seconds. He ran a 1:33.5, and Jake, to put that in perspective, I mean, the top 8 in that session were separated only by a second. There's a ton of talent in this field, and as we look at the practice and qualifying charts right now, who do you think's going to stand out today?
Well, the person that I'm looking at right now is the 83 machine of Bobby Zelensky. We saw just how impressive he was in qualifying for the NASCAR Peak Anti-Free Series, and he'll be looking to try and do something very similar today. Coming out of Yunshao, then he will now try and get the run there. He's very nice and neat there coming out of that corner. He's been a driver who'd been challenging Ryan Loser all the season long and looked pretty much dead set on getting qualifying, and did so as well. We'll see what time he'll get then when he comes to the line. 36.8 then, the time to beat of Borja Vieira Casal, and the answer is a 36 flat. That's 0.8 of a second better and on pole.
Yeah, that's a great lap by the 83 Zelensky. Like you mentioned, he basically was the runner-up to Luza, got a win in, and you want to take a guess where it was? It was their only road course at Sonoma. So we know Bobby Zelensky, he can turn left and right in a cup car, but this is an entirely different animal. I mean, both sides of the iRacing coin are covered today. I mean, as you mentioned, we got NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series drivers, we have Blancpain GT Series drivers, and everyone wants to prove that they know how to drive a truck fast on a road course. And, I mean, to stack it all up, there's some big prizes for these guys in the championship as well. I mean, $450 rather, in iRacing credits up for grabs, and the top 10 in the driver standings will all receive a free year subscription to iAnalyze Racing. Also, you know, Sox Out Racing Pro and Pro-Am licenses for 1 through 17 and 18 through 20 respectively. Jake, they need to finish inside that top 20 in points, or they're going to get demoted a license level for the league here. That's a huge change because it could knock you out of a series that you were planning on competing on.
Yeah, you certainly can, and that is the key issue then that drivers have. They have to make sure that they are scoring, and they are scoring well in these events. You can't afford to take a couple of weeks off, take your foot off the back burner and go, you know what, I can still make it. You know, if you start taking liberties in this series, it will soon turn against you as quickly as you thought you had pace to begin with. Now, there's certainly a lot that's going on, especially for those top 10s. You're looking at first prize being $150 iRacing gift card and a 1-year subscription to iAnalyze Racing for the Drivers' Championship, Teams Championship as well. $60 from that if you win that championship. There is a lot to play for, even all the way down to the likes of the top 10. And you look at those drivers trying to get themselves into license points, 21st and below. You're looking at that demotion, and nobody really wants to be sitting on that bubble. If qualifying today was anything to go by, then 21st and lower would see that Michael Gorilla there is going to be the driver who will be really struggling. Just 3 3/4 minutes then left to qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. We do want to mention that iAnalyze Racing, of course, what that is, it's the, as they say, it's the official data analysis software of this series and the premier iRacing aftermarket add-on. And basically what it is, it's a bunch of voice commands you can add, data analysis, all sorts of different tools that help get the most out of iRacing. Guys use it to work on their setups to improve it. And you can check all that out at www.ianalyzeracing.com. That's where you can find out pricing info, basically what all it does. We encourage you to go over there, check it out. And we do also want to mention that tonight, don't forget to vote for the Sox Out Racing Hard Charger Award. The recipient will receive about a free month of iAnalyze Racing, their subscription software. And all you have to do is head over to the Sox Out Racing Twitter account at Sox Out Racing. And you can head over there, vote on that, and the winner will receive a free month of iAnalyze Racing. So that's pretty sweet, and the fans involved in this.
Oh, it absolutely is, and well, you could say it's very similar to what you could say be a fan boost in the Formula E. What you're looking at here is maybe a driver looking to try and win the hearts of the crowd, not by necessarily being the fastest, but by being the most exciting, trying to make those moves. And I'm going to put out a key early candidate right now in the 103 of Jackie Lotterman. Maverick driver, loves to put his nose down the inside here and there, and could really become a factor come the end of this one. As things stand here, though, looking at things, Cisco, I'm not really seeing too many drivers out on the lap. The only driver really is Doug White, who's going to take a tow back to the garage. So right now, I think qualifying is pretty much all but sorted as things stand.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Doug's going to try and start from pit road, but I mean, we look at the qualifying order right now, and I mean, Bobby Zelensky, there's no other way to say it. He has 5/10 on the field right now, Jake, and that's huge considering the next two cars are within that in that 0.5 barrier. And, you know, we talked about, he beat his lap time by 2/10. Well, Bobby Zelensky just beat that one.
Yeah, he certainly did, and of course the track conditions a lot hotter than what we saw in terms of the track record that we saw Mika Eshouse beat. We're looking at 133s. It's a hot day. We're looking at 36s. Now that's a difference of 2.5 seconds, and that starts to play on the mind with drivers dealing with different conditions. And these are no slouches he's beaten by half a second. It's Mika Eshouse and Matt Booser of all people who he's beating. This is showing some incredible amount of form then moving on into the opening round of the season.
Yeah, we're really only seeing one more truck on the track right now. It's George Gruber in that number 123, and he's looks like maybe making a last-second lap or just getting some last-second practice in. He's one of our road drivers here, and you can note which discipline the driver comes from. You look down at that right rear quarter or that right rear bumper, and you'll see either the road symbol or the oval symbol. If you're familiar with iRacing, if you look at the license there, the kind of upside down U, that's going to denote rather your road driver or your oval drivers, and your S symbol is going to kind of denote your road driver. So keep an eye on that. So, I mean, we talk about there are a couple other championships here as well. Of course, we got the team guys that you mentioned before, also a road v oval style. So that's going to be a lot of fun for these guys. A lot of points on the grab, on the out to grab here rather. But,
yeah, there are a lot of points then up for offer. Then you're looking at bonus points being of 2, 1 for pole position, which Zelensky is going to take in this form, and you also look at that bonus point for leading a lap come the end of this one. A lot can be played then moving on forward into this one. Cars now starting to grid up here. Cisco, 148 points for a win. Well, I'll certainly take that all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. Points are on the line here. But we're going to take a look at that starting grid. And Bobby Zelensky, he got the pole. No one else was able to touch him. 5/10 is the gap there for the pole. Matt Busa is going to start to his outside there. Mika Eshouse is going to start third. Sven Kamertz is going to start fourth. And Victor Lobato Lopez, he's going to round out your top 5.
There you got Borja Vieira Casal then in 6th. Row 4, you'll see Jackie Lotterman and Ryan Castelline there. James King there in 9th with Justin Kreithoff there, rounding out the top 10.
11th spot's got George Gruber. 12th is going to go to Hosan Ibiza. Martin Capal is going to roll off 13. 14th is going to go to JJ Rimmer. And 15th is going to go to Sergio Real.
Clifton Cockrell then in 16th position. David Barclough there in 17th with Craig Williams and Jake Robson there 18th and 19th respectively. Rounding out the top 20 though, 138.399. Daniel Thompson will take 20th.
Bram Reyners is going to roll off 21st. 22nd is going to go to Michael Garigla. Sorry about that. Aaron Stowe is going to roll off 23rd. 24th is going to go to John Medeiros. 25th is going to go to Ben Burnett. Kyle Streichars will roll off 26th. 27th to Josh Mertz. And Douglas White is going to round out this 28 truck field. Well, Jake, we talk about this Interlagos Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace as well as it's now known. But, I mean, this is a long track, a 15 corner and, you know, about 2 and a bit miles here. This is a decently sized track here. And as you mentioned, anti-clockwise, which is going to help these guys turn a little bit. Probably got the camber set a little bit to the left side.
Yeah, they probably do right now, and what they have to remember, though, is there are some very, very difficult corners coming up. Although you say it is anti-clockwise, taking some left, there are some very difficult right-handers on the course. The one that they're just getting out and going off now is this one, Ferradura, this right-hander that just links in, otherwise known as the horseshoe in Portuguese. You're just longing to put the power down as much as you can to get yourself going. And this infield section here, it's a real test of the metal because these cars traditionally aren't the best when it comes down to the slow speed corners.
No, and we saw guys getting very loose during practice and qualifying here. They were sliding the car around, so they're a little bit loose there, Jake, but they're having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, they certainly are, and well, it's going to come down to some drivers are racing this one just to see how many positions they can take. Others are going to be looking for the win. There is an element of fun to it, as there should be with all racing, especially league racing as well. It's about who can put themselves to the metal then, and you can see already, just look how much marbles there are on the outside of the corners here, Cisco, right now. You have to say the track is very fairly rubbered in.
Yeah, it is, and that's going to add an added benefit for these guys sliding around. But as we come through the final section here, we're going to head up towards Tribunas, and that's where they're going to start this race. Right behind, of course, that iRacing Rough 12 RT Porsche right now, or Porsche. I mean, it's technically a Porsche, right?
Yeah, technically, because the Roof is a tuning company that works with Porsche, so you are right.
Well, either way, the pace car is getting set. It's going to duck off to the left side of the pit road here. Bobby Zelensky, he's got the pole. He's going to be heading for that Senna S complex right now. Pace car is off. Bobby Zelensky, we're waiting. We're waiting. Green flag in the air. He's off. Welcome to the 2017 iAnalyzeRacing.com V8 Super Truck Series. I'm going to turn number 1 right now. Everything looks good for the moment. No caution, a local caution right now. Looks like we had some issues. And it looks like Victor Lopez actually got spun around a little bit there. Also, Jackie Launerman made some contact, but for the most part, everyone made it through. A little bit of side-by-side right now. Borja Casal right now is going alongside Martin Capal. And as we take a look at that replay for that first turn contact, already the size of these trucks coming into play, Jake.
Yeah, you could definitely see just how it worked there. Losman trying to take the advantage, going to the left-hand side of the circuit, right to the pit wall, and then we saw a little bit of contact. You can't dare to go 3 wide here, especially off of a rolling start like this, and it just ended up in a little bit of drama, and it all had to slow down just as quickly as it started, Cisco.
Yeah, and that means the iRacing first pace car is already out on track. Administration deciding to throw the caution for that incident. We took a look at it, and it looks like to me the that Apex machine just looked like he either locked up or just couldn't get it woed down. I mean, he went straight across the field. So a very odd incident to start it off here, but calamity already striking in turn 1 in the Senna S complex.
Yeah, it certainly has done, and what it does for the drivers now is that they're all going to be looking at each other now thinking, you know, we've had this big start to the season, we've had to slow it down again, and it's almost a false start, it's a false lull, it's a false sense of security moving forward, and that's what everyone's going to have to be dealing with, everyone's going to have to be careful with right now as you look further forward here and looking at those drivers who are looking to make some really big gains.
Yeah, and these guys are really just trying to rush to catch the pace car here, and the pace car came out basically right behind the field, so they have to do an entire lap at speed to catch that pace car. So everyone flying around the course trying to catch it right now. But you take a look, Bobby Zalenski currently shown as your leader. I mean, under this pace lap, it doesn't really look like a pace lap, but I'm not kidding you. It is a pace lap technically, and looks like the pace car is actually coming through with the last section of the track. So these guys really have to hoof it to catch up that rough there.
Yeah, they certainly do here, and you can see everyone now is rushing too hard, and that's actually something they're going to have to be careful about here, because if they start pushing too hard then behind this, trying to catch that car, we could see extra incidents start to occur. Of course, there's no overtaking allowed here under the safety car conditions, but what you can very easily do is just dip a tyre off here or there. You talk about the pace car is just heading up the start-finish straight right now. Look at where Bobby Zalenski is. He's already down on the infield, so that's about half a lap then they're still going to have to do, and they've already done a lap here to try and chase, and that is going to be something that is going to start annoying a couple of drivers, just waiting and waiting and waiting to get back then into the situation they need to. Also, what it does though here, Cisco, which is quite important, it means that the drivers are actually saving a bit of fuel. Now, because they are saving fuel, what it does mean is they can go that little bit longer into their fuel stop, which opens at 25% race distance.
Yeah, it does, but also keep in mind they're still going at rate. Oh, Zalenski, you just mentioned it, he just fell off right there, trying to catch the pace car right there, that 83 truck. Yeah, he just kind of missed that last corner. I was doing that when we were racing Mazdas here a couple of weeks ago, Jake, and just messed up the corner a little bit there, fell off. He's fine now. I mean, no damage done. He'll probably get those tires all cleaned off by now, but incident points, it matters. It really does.
Especially does when you've got 21 points to play with. It sounds like a lot when you see it on the surface, but when you're making some light taps here and you get 2x or 4x and you get a 1x for just running a straight tire over the grass, something like that for Zalenski, if he does run into a lot of battles in this race, they are going to be in a little bit of difficulty here or there. They can now finally catch that pace car, so it can all slow itself down once again. But, Bobby Zalenski, that's the warning shot there. He's fortunate. He's very fortunate there that he's managed to hold that one and not have any further issues.
Yeah, and it looks like they've caught him just around the Descida del Lago and kind of right past that straight, and for the most part, it looks like most of the field was able to catch everyone slowing down now. And it looks like everything's going to be set for the moment, but we're going to have to knock out some pace laps here. And it looks like one truck already on pit road, that number 13, Victor Lopez. Not really surprised. I mean, we saw how big of an incident it was. He's probably getting repaired to that suspension. It's going to be so much bigger of a deal here than Even I would think, Jake, because, I mean, we're on a road course on trucks. The suspension is going to be such a big part of this race tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's going to be certainly tortured throughout every corner that it tries. And, well, you definitely saw there the problems that was happening on that opening lap. The likes of Victor Lopez there running into issues right now. And what you can say, though, about the racing that is going to happen is, although that they are behind the safety car right now, you are seeing that everyone is just waiting for it. You can see Zelensky is all over the back of that pace car and looking to try and make sure that he gets himself further forward. You're looking at this race here and you're looking at this second restart. You know, who else is going to try and make the gains here? Because I tell you what, who has made the big gains, it's Jörg Gruber in the 123. 5 positions in the space of a corner.
Yeah, that's not too shabby right there. But as they head up through Subida, those boxes, they're going to head up now and the lights are off. So we're going to kick this back off here, Jake. Single file restart looks like for these guys, and we're going to get ready to head back to the green flag.
Yeah, we certainly are, and you can see here it's now just a case of waiting. Zelensky will have the pace right now. You can see Busa's going to be incredibly daring here potentially off the start. You're going to see pace car then dip itself in.
Yep, here we go. Bobby Zelensky waiting. When is he going to get on the pedal? It's right there. Green flag in the air. We are back underway here at Interlagos. And as they head towards the Senna S right now, Busa's going to take a look to the inside. They're going to go 3 wide back there. 3 wide into the first corner, and they're going to make it. One truck off a little bit. That's a Team Bushfig truck. He's able to hold on to it, though. And this time, we made it through.
Yeah, we did. James King then having the big issues then. It seems that everyone then pretty much clean then as they go through. One spinner at the back, though. That is John Medeiros then, who is running into problems then. You can still see, though, the battle's going in. A look again then from James King down the inside. Car going off, though, down at the Ski del Lago. Very good save then from Capal there in at the 64 machine. He gets himself back going again, but he loses position. And then momentum here as it all checks up.
Yeah, and the momentum's going to play such a huge key here. Side by side, the 555 versus the 223. Ibiza up on the high side, Barrichello down the inside. He gets it done right there. And as they head up the uphill section, remember, they got this right-hand kink right here. Everyone's slowing down. Look how checked up it is. Side by side, the 27 of Cockrell there just couldn't get through the corner. He got shoved back a position. And how about that number 30 truck doing a great job getting through the field right now. And now to the inside is going to go the 44, Jake Robson. He's going to get a position on that Team Bushfig truck. And for the most part right now, that might be the battling done for the moment.
Yeah, it certainly will. Also keep an eye on Jackie Losserman trying to make his way through the field. He's being a little bit daring right now. And you can see again now Jackie Losserman trying everything he can. He goes around the outside trying to look at Bram Reyners there. And he can't get the power off it. So he needs to get that big boost then coming up the hill using that toe to his advantage. We do have, though, S-House under a little bit of pressure then from Jörg Gruber then in the 123. He's up to 4th position. That just shows you how much he's wanting to race. And his race pace is certainly fantastic. And now he's looking at the lap record holder here in Socks Out, and he's looking at it with a lot of intrigue here as now Kamets then looks behind at potentially 4th place as well.
And look at how snaky that truck was getting out of the Senna S's there. Gruber was all on the power here, and as the brake turns into the 2 left-handers, they're going to get it pretty well sorted right there. I thought Gruber was going to slide the tires a little bit more. Didn't happen, though, but as they head back up the hill, it looks like S-House is starting to close in on your leaders ever so slightly. Busa and Zelensky right now, though, continuing to lead teammates right now, 1-2.
Yeah, 1 and 2, and that's all that they could probably ask for right now. Don't want anything else. Running wide, though, is Cockrell, though, here in the 27. Down the inside now will come the number 30 here, Michael Guariglia there, and he gets himself down the inside, and he'll get the position. You can see a little check then, though, from Cockrell there. As you can see, Thompson now trying to get in. Rayner's still holding off Lotterman here in a resilient defense, and now Lotterman all over the curb here, bit slidey, and he tries to get himself down in, and it's not quite happening, but it does happen there for him.
And Jackie Lotterman just can't seem to find a point to relax in this race yet, Jake. He keeps going under attack or trying to get a position here. At least for the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to get attacked. Reyners is going to subside for now. But if Lotterman screws up a corner exit here, he's going to be in big-time trouble again.
Yeah, he certainly will be, and you cannot take any form of liberties then, as you can see here with the driver of Jackie Lotterman here. He needs to try and get himself through the field. He is back, though, to 23rd, and even further forward then to the likes of 20th position, but he was down at the back of the field, which he cannot afford to do, and now he's looking to try and push himself more forward here through this field, and he needs to make sure that he makes these passes cleanly and effectively right now. As you can see, Sergio Real it is, with Martin Capal there just behind, looking for a way through.
Yeah, you look at positions gained right now, and the biggest number on this table we're looking at is 7 spots gained for that 1-2-3 truck of George Gruber. He's done such a fantastic job getting through this field. Got so many positions on the stars. We go side by side between the 93 and the 64. Sergio Real, he's going to be on the inside here as they head up the hill.
Yeah, and you can see trying to go around the outside of Ferradura is never the key here, and you can see just how much he gets squeezed out. Now you look at the likes of, say, I believe Baraclough there going down the inside, and Baraclough is going to get it, and running wide there, coming out of that corner there was Capar, and that allows Ibiza to try and come back at it, and he will try and hold that position, but the Bico de Pato is the slowest corner on circuit. It's a right-hander, and you can see Lotterman trying it down the inside. Is it? No, it's not Lotterman there. My mistake. Jake Robson then trying it and not getting it quite there. So there's a lot of people now thinking, you know, chances are coming aplenty. But look at this train right now here. Gruber now starting to fall backwards. Castelline and Kamets then have got themselves through right now.
And Robson was trying to get the position on the outside from Capal. He overdrove the corner there, so Jake Robson falling back now. He lost all that time he had made up on the trucks in front of him, and he's going to have to make that all back here. Huge loss there for that number 44 truck, but it looks like Casal's actually going to let his teammate go by there, Sergio Real. They're going to swap positions there, so the 93 truck, or the 39 truck rather, is going to let his teammate in the 93 go by here. Must have been a little bit faster. That's team orders right there in front of you.
It certainly is, and look at the run that Baraclough's now going to have here. As you can see, rear gunner having to be played then by that driver of Borja Vallejo Casal right now. You can see here, he tries to move over on the man, couldn't try to pinch him there on the outside. It didn't work though, as he stays on the outside, then needs to get the run, but Baraclough isn't going to get it. Now he loses all forms of momentum then, moving forward into this one now, and you can see here, it just gets itself all nice and calm there. Ibiza waiting behind for the moves, and they're not quite happening for everyone. A little half chances then for a lot of people in this field, Cisco, but those who can actually make it happen here are few and far between.
Yeah, Baraclough continuing to attack that number 39 truck in front of him of Borja Casal, and he just can't get to the inside here. He's going to take a look to the outside, maybe try a fake out. No, he's just trying to get that apex just right on the back bumper. He can't do anything though, Jake, and as they head through down that long hill, the long left-hander, and up to the sharp left-hander right here, Baraclough's going to lose a little bit of time trying to get that apex not just right, and it looks like he's going to get it sorted here, but a little bit of tire spin, he's going to lose a little bit of time.
Yeah, he can't afford to have that tyre spin. Of course, you know, you are trying to light up, you are trying to get yourself through as cleanly, as effectively as you can, and lighting him up is not what you want. Casal's coming in, he's got damage then here on lap number 7, so an early call then for Vallejo Casal. Of course, you have to talk about this one then. The race is 24 laps, comes in at the earliest given opportunity then, and that is a pretty big moment then in terms of this race. He might be trying to go for a big undercut strategy right now here that might get him some big gains come the end.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we take a look up towards that lead, and Mika Eshouse, he's closing the gap, but just not enough right now up to those leaders. Bobby Zelensky continues to lead Matt Busa second, but Mika Eshouse, he's slowly closing that gap, getting ever so closer, and I guess more importantly, he's opening that gap on 4th place right now.
Yeah, and that's the crucial thing there. That gap is now 2 seconds to Kamets, and he can afford it here. Side by side, they're trying to go behind there. Craig Williams then, and Jay Rimmer into 21. And look who's coming. Jackie Lotterman down the inside. He'll take 1. Will he take 2? He'll have to go around the outside then here at this big, long 180-degree left-hand corner. And that's not going to happen for him then. Can't get that one, but he will secure himself then into the Bico de Pato with a massive wiggle then coming down into the corner. He is very snaky under the brakes, and it's very loose. Thompson now gets the position on Williams, and now Bran Reyners looking around the outside.
Yeah, and continuing to battle right here, and it looks, yeah, Rimmer, well, and Reyners actually is going to fall in behind there. There we go. And just Looks like Craig Williams here is maybe trying to get a little bit of draft off Daniel Thompson, maybe try and make something happen here through the Senna curves. But, I mean, that Apex UK driver, holy cow, Jackie Lauderman, he has not had an easy day today as they're going to go side by side right in front. That's Michael Gargila, and he's going to go the inside of Robson, and they're going to go side by side. Almost a crossover move, not going to happen right there. The 44's trying to come back, punt to the rear bumper.
Punt to the rear bumper, but that's not going to do him any favours then as he looks to push himself forward. It isn't quite happening for him right now, and he needs to find a little bit more. In front of that, Capel has a little look at Ibiza. Not going to happen there in that one either, in that one for what is 11th and 12th as things currently stand right now. There's a lot that's playing in these minds of the drivers right now. You look at the likes of, say, the front of the field, which is now pretty much nose to tail. S-House trying to close in this one here, Cisco. And now you're looking at this one thinking, you know, maybe the drivers are going to go to halfway, maybe a little bit further now. You can see they really tries Busa now trying around the outside. It's threatening Zelensky here for the lead, who runs wide.
Oh yeah, Zelensky's going to go way wide here. Busa's going to try and get him on the outside, side by side, as they head up towards turn number 13 right here. Zelensky on the inside. He's going to outbrake Busa. Busa's going to try and get the crossover, sliding that truck around the corner. Not able to get it, though. Bobby Zelensky, what a defensive move. He's able to hold on to the lead, but this night is not over for Bobby Zelensky. He's got a long way to go, and Busa's right back on his tail.
Yeah, he certainly does, and where you look at this one, Busa having a scrap with Zelensky, it's only going to allow S-House back in. That's all he can afford right now as things continue to move on.
And side by side goes the number 64. Martin Capel is going to get past that Torque Freak Racing driver of Barraclough, and he's going to gain another position there for Martin Capel. He's going to be up to, I believe, 11th spot here. And as we take a look back, it looks like Gargia, and it looks like cars already hitting pit road. Hosan Ibiza, he's going to hit pit road. Also right behind him, Jake Robson. So pit strategy already going for these guys. The 44 and the 39, those trucks are in right here. Everyone else still on the racetrack, and you see a really tight group between back in the pack, but we're continuing to look at those leaders. Zelensky continues to lead right behind him, Matt Busa, and behind him, Mika S-House. He's going to be third, and what a job he's done. He's closed that gap up to P1 and 2. He's going to take a look to the inside. Not going to happen, but Matt Busa powers off the corner. He's trying to attack. S-House is trying to attack Busa, but as they head up the hill once again to this close right-hander, Jake, this battle for the lead is on.
Yeah, it certainly is now, and they couldn't afford to let S-House back into it, and they have again a big wiggle then coming out of the corner from Zelensky, trying to get the power down, but he's just clipping that grass, taking too many liberties coming out of the corner. Now they head into Jun Shao then, this junction left-hander, and now up the hill, it's going to be all Busa then to get the advantage, and S-House, who's just been sitting pretty and waiting on this one, you know, he can have the ability to get himself in. Maybe he should come in early in this scenario then to get himself that big undercut then, and actually gain track position as these two fights ahead.
What was Codavello right now up towards the Senna S's. Mika S-House is now in this battle. He has closed that gap up. It is a 3-truck battle for this lead right now. Bobby Zelensky cannot afford to make a mistake. We already saw trucks on pit road, so a little bit of alternative pit strategy going on right here, Jake. But for the most part, our leaders still staying out, and Matt Busa, I mean, talk about a guy who's lighting those tires up. He's having a whole lot of fun, but he is driving that truck so hard right now.
Oh, he certainly is. Jackie Lotzman then coming in from what was 14th position when he crossed the line, so he is starting to make some moves then here as he is now making himself through. But Matt Busa certainly, yes, here, Cisco, is starting to light up those rears, and you can't afford to do that then, because the more you are lighting those rears up, the less grip you have, the more that you will actually light those rears moving forward. You see S-House very late on the brakes, taking all of the track then a little bit more as he heads down into this left, right then the left here as they come back up the hill again. Zelensky is doing some good defensive driving right now here, Cisco. As you can see, he just heads himself into the corner, just knows where to plant it on the apex, knows when to slow it down, hold the drivers up, and get himself back going again. They do have that 3.5 second buffer though to Kametz behind off the back of S-House, so that's the one big liberty they have at the moment. As you can see, running wide there, Zelensky, he has to take the run, and here comes Busa, chance for the race lead.
Yeah, up through Subito dos Boxes once again, side by side. Matt Busa doing a great job. Gonna go past bleachers here and up towards the start finish line, side by side. Matt Busa's gonna have the preferred line though as they head up towards the Senna S complex. Once again, Matt Busa, is he gonna outbreak him? No, Zelensky's gonna try it, but here we go. Matt Busa gonna stick the nose in, side by side. Hold on to it. Matt Busa's gonna hold on to those tires, and Zelensky got a piece of the curb, and Busa's gonna almost clear him here as they head through the left right here. Busa is your leader.
Yeah, brilliant work through the curve of the Saw. Now S-House wants a piece of it. He needs to do something to go back. Still defensive though is Busa. Then down onto the brakes into the Desquita Largo turns 4 and 5 and running a little bit wide there off the exit. There's Busa. He'll have to lose it again now. Here comes Zelensky, but he'll have to do it the long way around. But I think he's going to clear him potentially before they even get to Ferradura. Might be a chance to stick the nose in, and there's nothing that Busa can do. Zelensky very well driven back to the race lead.
Yeah, and Zelensky was able to not only drive back to the lead, he was able to hold off S-House, who's right on the back bumper now of that 34 truck of Matt Busa. And Busa, oh no, he's going to get turned! He's going to get turned!
Unbelievable there. Matt Busa then just tried to get himself down in. They all checked up nose to tail to nose to tail to nose to tail. And well, you could see Busa turn around there in the middle of the corner. And that is exactly how nobody wanted to see that end.
Are you kidding me? Matt Busa just went from being second in this race, leading it, and he's going to be all the way back in this pack. He's going to have to make up so much time. You got to think, Jake, the way this course is laid out, that might be the nail in the coffin for Matt Busa unless he tries something with fuel strategy here.
Yeah, I think he should pit in right now. That's how I'd play this one right now. You've got Busa then trying to make sure that he gets himself through, and he'll need to do it. Zelensky, though, will come in. So S-House now gets the leash put off of him. The chains are off, and he's trying to run away with it. Zelensky in is a crucial fact here, Cisco, and so is Matt Busa as well. No, Kruithoff even there. My mistake. But, you know, you look at it, actually, yes, Matt Busa is in. So these two were going to come in at exactly the same time. Exactly what you need to see. Strategy on pit road, and it looks like Busa has already been covered.
Yeah, and S-House now needs to throw down the fastest laps of his life here. He's got old tires. He's got to be in as soon as possible if he wants to keep up with these leaders right now. The two teammates continuing to be on pit road. Bobby Zelensky just left. Matt Busa getting damage repaired. He's out of pit road right now, but S-House is all alone up in the lead. Cambridge is really the only one up there with him. We still have, looks like, about 13 trucks rather that haven't come down pit road yet. Bobby Zelensky does split kind of that group there. He has come down pit road, and he came out ahead of Kyle Streichardt and Ben Burnett, who haven't even come down pit road yet. That's how far in front they were for some of these guys here.
Yeah, they certainly were, and I can only just see right now just how hard that Sven Kametz here is pushing. I'm seeing him sliding through every single corner right now here, just trying to get something, the last lease out of his tires right now. As you can see, he gets himself then into the left of Jun Shao, has all over the back of him. Ryan Castelline here looking to try and make his push then. They come up the hill then, looking at the toe coming into effect, the gap about 0.3 of a second, and that will only come down more and more and more again. Will S-House come in this time by? Absolutely he will. The one lap overcut then might work. Kametz follows with Castelline. Gruber stays out.
I think you have to pit at this point, Jake. George Gruber, he's staying out. I mean, he gained 10 spots, but those tires have to be screaming. But this is going to be the battle right here. We're going to take a look back at your leader here. Where is Bobby Zelensky? He just came through the final turn right now. He's heading up the hill. This is going to be the battle for the lead. Where is S-House? When is he going to come off pit road?
That is going to be the key, and the answer is he's not going to come off pit road. He comes off pit road now. Zelensky has got it all sorted then. No challengers then. Say what you will about Bobby Zelensky. He is gone, and S-House now needs to put the hammer down because there's about 2.5-3 seconds in it.
Yeah, S-House lost so much time by staying out on those old tires, and Bobby Zelensky is gone. But we saw S-House be able to run down Zelensky and Busa earlier. I can only assume S-House is going to do the same, unless Zelensky was really under threat from his teammate and used up those tires so much. But the pit strategy right now going to swing in the favor of that 83.
Yeah, it certainly is right now. You look at the 83 then, trying to get himself forward, and then you see that Zelensky just knows exactly where to place the car, how to place the car, and what to do with it. S-House then needs to find something a little bit more, maybe needs a little bit of help. Something to note though, Busa is behind Castelline and Kamets then on circuit though, but is still trying to make some gains. But look out though for another driver then making gains. Lotterman has managed to get himself now behind Kruthoff right now, and that is key. King and Strykars then having a scrap.
Yeah, Strychar's right now in a battle with James King and that team. Bushfink Racing, number 23. He's going to go way to the outside, not able to hold on to it. He's trying to do everything he can with those tires. He's going to jump to the inside of Kyle there, and Kyle's going to be stuck on that outside. Still on old tires is that 70 truck, and you got to think, if you're Kyle Strychar's, you got to hit pit road now, man. You are running out of tire.
Yeah, he certainly is. The tread, you know, it has to be bold almost at this stage here. 14 laps, especially around this circuit, you know, you're just wearing it. You can see he's already moving to the left-hand side to say, I need to come in. Yet the brakes are on then, and a very pedestrian then wait to get down onto the lane, looking to try and find that special marker. You can see he's already hitting it right now, and it was just a low and slow and lazy way to get through. Gruber's just come out, and he'll come out behind King, and, you know, now the question is here, Cisco, you look at the front of the field here, you look at the driver of S-House, he has 1 lap pressure tyres compared to Zelensky. You know, the question now remains, will Zelensky's tyres go off quicker, which will allow S-House to come back into it?
We'll just have to see. Battle right now. David Barclough in that 555, he was able to get past Hosan Ibiza right there, and as they head up through and into the left-hander, not able to do anything there. Actually got blocked by his teammate, but Barclough, we kind of have a 4-truck train here, and they're kind of stuck behind that 27 of Cockrell there, and Robson is looking for any way past.
Yeah, he is, and Robson tries to the outside. Barclough then will take advantage and go, thank you very much, that one's mine. You can see here, this is the difference that happens now. Looks for the inside, does Barclough, and there's a big dive then coming back then in the mid-pack of this battle. Contact. And there is contact between the two, and that was Joshawn Ibiza then trying to get around, and it was Guaguila there who was actually making that big dive. He makes it all work, they all make it all work, but there is the difference between quick tires and slow.
Yeah, Gargia in that Valvoline Chevrolet right now, trying to make his way back through the field right now in that number 30 truck. Let's take a ride on board with him. He's following right behind Jake Robson, that number 44. The 2 Torque Freak Racing drivers, as Robson's going to blow that corner entry right there. Gargia there, he's making moves. He's going to jump to the inside here. Battle for what is going to be that 13th position side by side.
Oh, they almost touch coming down the straight. Unbelievable here. And now it's just a case of Will's last of the late breakers then coming down through. And I think you can see he's just going to laze it in as the 30. And you know what? There's nothing that Jake Robson can do about that one then into the right-hander. Then he'll have to check up and lose the position then. Also keep your eye on this battle going on further forward here with the likes of James King and Jörg Gruber right now going at it now. The 23 gets a much better run coming out of the Skid Largo. Needs to find something then heading towards Ferradura. Not close enough this time here, Cisco. Running out of laps a little bit now. You need to make sure that you are pretty much poised and perfect on the back bumper, and that's just not what James King did.
8.5 laps to go here at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. James King trying to work on the back bumper of that Torque Freak Racing. It's Torque Freak versus Bushfink, just not in the way that we're used to, Jake. And as they head through the slow section here and down the hill, James King, he's trying to close that gap, just can't do it.
No, he can't, and that's a big problem then. You can see here he's struggling coming out of that left-hander, that long left-hander then. Now gets himself into Jun Xiao, and you can see that gap now has opened up to about 0.7 of a second. King has struggled on this lap, and the moment that you start making a small mistake here, it just exacerbates then more and more. Something to note though at the front of your field, S-House is actually closing at a rate of 0.2 a lap. This one will close down at this rate here, Cisco. By the end of the race, it's not over, and S-House is trying to force the matter.
And I think S-House, from how that truck's driving, I think he's got a better long-run truck here. And Zelensky, well, Zelensky is very fast on the get up and go. I think S-House is just taking better care of his tires, and that's going to pay such huge dividends here. But as we take a look back through the pack right now, it is really close around that 360 truck of Craig Williams, the 223 of Hossein Ibiza. He's under attack right now from Bram Rainers.
Yeah, now you can see Reynolds try and get that run coming out of the corner. Hits 130 miles an hour now and looks to try and get a little bit more. Toe, though, will come into effect there from Robson just ahead. And Williams, of course, you know, you're just trying and it's just not happening. Robson runs wide, though, and that's going to allow here the driver of Ibiza to come back into this one. Then you can see he gets a much better run. And there's a little wiggle coming off the corner then. Ibiza goes to the outside, trying to get this sorted then in this battle for 14. Not happening here. And you can see just how they all check up sideways there. And here comes the up and under. And the up and under for Robson is that he's in a lot of trouble down the inside.
The good news is he's got a teammate. Oh, looks like Ramers is going to get a shot to the back bumper right there from Craig Williams. And the Torque Freak drivers are side by side. And as they head back up the hill, Ibiza on the pedal really soon there. And he's got to make sure to block that line here so he doesn't get cut under from Rayners there. And Ibiza's going to swing the truck out as they head down the hill. Rayners looking for every opportunity to get by right now.
Yeah, he certainly is. Also, keep your eye here on the driver of Robson. He was throwing blocks then into the corner. He goes too deep, and he's going to have to try and check it up. He does, but there's going to be no power, no grunt coming up the hill. Thank you, Craig Williams, then. He'll jump himself up a position. Same could be said potentially for Clifton Cockrell, then, as he's going to get that major drive. But you also look at Reynolds, then, with Ibiza just ahead. Not sure how close that one's going to be, but the gap at the front now down to just a second and a half here, Cisco.
And it looked like Jake, he was just driving in the mirror right there, missed his corner entry. So important here. You cannot be doing that. We're not at Daytona. You can't
you can't just take any liberties around this corner.
Yeah, and you can't, like, look up out of your mirror just for a split second because of how sharp these corners are and how dangerous those curbs are.
No, you certainly can't. And, well, you have to make sure that you got concentration on the road pretty much almost at all times around here. Any one corner around this circuit can pretty much rip your head off. That is how difficult this track is, and it's so understated, and it's made look so easy. It just simply isn't when you get down to it, down onto the real level. Something else that's starting to happen here in this battle, three-car train. Capal, Real, and also Lotterman at the front of it then. Battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th. And talk about Jackie Lotterman back of the field here, Cisco, to the front. He's done a really good job about things.
Yeah, and Jackie Lotterman, I mean, he got a little bit of a brief respite there, but back under attack now from Sergio Real. Martin Capal right behind him here, and a little bit switching back further in your field. We're going to stay with this right now. Sergio Real, he's going to jump to the inside. Lotterman went to try and block him. He's not going to get the run off the corner, and Sergio Real says, thank you very much. He's going to clear him there.
Yeah, it just about does it. Now Lotterman is going to be the sitting target because here comes Capal then here on the outside. And he'll now get the toe coming in then from Real in front of him there in the 93. They get themselves down on the brakes. Lotterman will get there a little bit later. A little bit of a wiggle though coming in from Capal. And in the end, Lotterman's going to try and hold it around the outside. Cuts the nose. Thank you very much. Now looking to the inside. And a big slide coming out of 3. He holds it.
Wow, what a slide right there. Lotterman going to get stuck on the curb. That's going to give Capal his moment. He's going to jump to the inside. The truck coming off pit road was Douglas White. He's a couple laps down right now. Just want to point out. Lotterman still on the outside right now. He's going to get kicked off. He's gone off into that green patch there. He's back on track, but finally going to surrender that position. But we've seen it so much already, Jake, just how much gap you can create here or how much you can close up just by how you're using that brake pedal.
Yeah, certainly you do, and well, that is going to be the key as Lotterman now tries to send one down the inside. He can't quite get it done there. Capal holds on to things for the time being. I want to turn your attention once again, though, to the front of the field right now, Cisco. S-House looks significantly closer right now as things stand. The gap was coming down. It was 2 seconds coming out of pit road. The gap was 1.2 when they last crossed the line. I have a feeling now it's just under a second as things stand. Gap across the line has just brought itself down 0.7 of a second. S-House is forcing the matter, and a small wiggle from Zelensky says the mistakes are creeping in.
Yeah, and if Zelensky blows another corner entry like he just did right there, S-House is going to eat him for dinner as they head through Curva del Sol right there. S-House is closing in. He's going to be able to sniff that draft pretty soon when they head down the straightaways, Jake, and that could close the book on this right now as they slow down into this double left-hander right here.
Yeah, to Esquid del Lago, got to make sure that you're careful with the AstroTurf on the outside. You can see those small little patches of grass then just pretty much a foot wide in terms of how they are. You've got to make sure you don't touch them, otherwise you're going to be in a lot of issues right now. And actually seeing that again, Zelensky takes a little bit of a wider line coming out of the corner. I'm pretty sure he is now trying to strangle it and try and force drive it, but we know how good he can be on the roads. And he's now looking at S-House there just behind him. And S-House, remember, fastest man in practice, now is starting to try and force the issue. You can see he's just trying to dance that car then down on the inside. And Zelensky, it almost seems like driving by book at the moment, and S-House is driving by instinct.
Yeah, and S-House just seems to be a little bit more happy with that truck, that Silverado that he's driving right now, the Tundra of Zelensky trying to get up the hill. The flagman on the stand right now is going to hold out 4 fingers, 4 laps to go here, Jake. S-House is running out of time, and Zelensky knows the battle is coming.
Yeah, the battle is coming, and for S-House, he knows he's got to make that move and try and run away as quickly as he can. Zelensky's not going to give this up. Remember how he fought with Busa earlier on in this race? He didn't have it, but he goes through a little bit of a wider line taken then here just to open out turn number 2, and you can see that all over the back. S-House, big wiggles from both of them then as they clip the turn 2 curve of the center S, and now S-House all over the back here. The run to the Desquid Lago, running off the circuit even. There is Bobby Zelensky. He's trying too hard.
This is Ambrose versus Keselowski right here. This is what this looks like, and the one good thing for Zelensky, he's got a lot of real estate between those 4 tires right now. He can block the track, and that's what he's going to try and do. He's going to squeeze the number 237 of S-House. S-House going to try the cut under here. Not going to happen as they head up the hill.
No, Ferradura is not the place you want to be making it, and now he'll use it coming out of the corner here to try and get a run down into this next right-hander. Not close enough, but he is to the back bumper now. That's the key crucial factor in this one then. You can see Zelensky's just going to try and slow everything down, make sure that he can get this move sorted here, and he looks at this one thinking, you know, I have a chance, and maybe S-House should have thrown one down the inside as a little bit of a warning shot. He doesn't, so the gap opens up a little bit more. Also keep your eye on this one, Matt Busa looking at 4th position then. Castelline then under a lot of pressure here, and you can see he gets a big wiggle out of the corner, Cisco.
Yeah, Busa is all over the back bumper of Castelline there. The 122 is looking, I mean, Busa's all over the back bumper here, but we're gonna keep an eye on that leader. But right now we're staying with this Busa battle, and what a slide he gets out of 13 right there as they head up the hill. Busa's probably gonna get the slipstream right here. 3 fingers in the air this time.
3 fingers in the air, 3 to go, and well, there's a lot that can happen in this situation. Nothing gonna happen then into turn number 1 for S-House right now. Busa has a little look to the inside as well. He's not gonna do it down into turn number 1. Castelline's 2 better there on the brakes right now. A big little slide then from Zelensky again. He's now trying to push everything he can, and now he's got a little bit more breathing room than he did last lap here, Cisco. That's the key then for Zelensky. He's just got to keep about a 4/10 gap. Easier said than done though, I have to say.
Yeah, S-House over the curbs right there. He's not really helping his situation doing that. I think he's just trying to stick the nose out there, and S-House, big slide out of there. And as they head up the hill once again, Zelensky just gets a brief respite.
Yeah, and Busa's through then on the driver of Castelline. Castelline ran wide at the Desquid Lago. Pressure pays off then, and from that recovery spin, he's back up into 4th position. Busa, I think it's too far for Kamers, but you can still see S-House then trying here with the driver of Bobby Zelensky, and it's just not happening right now. S-House needs something clear-cut, and nothing clear-cut has happened for the moment. Almost to the back bumper, almost a shot. You can see here S-House is absolutely trying every which way, and every which way turns up in knots.
And S-House is running out of time. Popsicle Stick's going to be in the air this time. Will Mika S-House be able to get it done here? He's going to try up the hill right now. Will he have enough of a slipstream? No, I don't think so. But he's going to get it down the straight. It's going to close him right back up on this battle. And we are running out of time. Popsicle Stick's in the air for Bobby Zelensky. He's got 2 laps left to hold off S-House. And as they head up towards the center curves, it's all going to come down once again to a braking battle.
Yeah, and you can see here it's not happening here for S-House just yet. He needs to set up the run. He can't afford to just, you know, try willy-nilly. He's got to make sure he makes the run sorted. And again, Zelensky takes that little wider line to try and open up the corner, which in turn slows him up then towards the Desquid Lago here. A little wider there is Mika S-House coming out of the corner, and it's these small mistakes that are starting to pay dividends here in terms of this battle here. Not going to happen then down to the Desquid Lago, Cisco, but I have this feeling here that maybe already. It's just a waiting game for the last lap. S-House then trying everything he can, and surely Zelensky's got to go defensive. He does into this one, and S-House tries and just can't quite do it.
And Zelensky on that defensive line right here. S-House is going to look. He's going to eat the curb right there as they head to the right side. Zelensky, no, he's going to blow corner entry. He's going to drift the truck right in the line there. Going to block S-House. But it's a good thing for Zelensky. He's on the entry for the other corner. He's drifting that truck around, just trying to block S-House. And as they head up towards the slow right-hander, S-House with a punt. He's in the dirt right now. Zelensky going to hold on for the moment. They're coming to the white flag this time, Jake. This is a battle royale right now.
Oh, it absolutely is, and well, they're both leaving everything on the circuit, but that gap, it's opened up enough then for Zelensky to make him feel a little bit calmer right now then. In through Junshao, all over the curb again is S-House, and S-House is trying everything just to shorten it there. He was very, very lucky that it didn't end in tears down at the Bico de Pato, but now as they come to the white flag lap, there is just still one opportunity. That gap, which had been stuck at 0.3 of a second, I don't think will close now here, Cisco. That gap now opens up to 0.6. It will take a miracle for S-House to make the pass.
But what a man to make miracles happen if he has to. S-House closes so much of a gap there. He's so good on that brake pedal. One finger this time. White flag is in the air. This is going to end it right here, Jake. And Bobby Zelensky, he's got the lead for the moment. And as they head down the straightaway for the final time, Mika S-House is going to get all he can here on the straight.
Yeah, he's trying everything, but S-House is pushing a little bit too hard then on his last lap into the Desquita Lago. Not happening for the moment. Needs to find a little bit more, and that little bit more then says it's only 0.4 of a second. He's only got one real opportunity then coming out from here, and he's got to drive perfect here. Does S-House right now. He's got to get it right to the back bumper when they come to Junshao, and the drag race to the line that may ensue. Not happening at the moment. He closes right up though, and he knows he can't get the power on quick enough. Here's Zelensky with just a little bit of a gap now. Bico de Pato coming up right now here, Cisco.
Yeah, and S-House is going to do everything he can. He gets on the curb. He's driving this truck all over the place, just trying to get to the back bumper of the 83 of Zelensky. Zelensky continues to lead here. Final couple of turns. Can Zelensky hold on? He's got to make sure he can't mess up corner entry once again. Final time down. Final left-hander. Zelensky looks good right now. S-House not going to be able to do anything as they head up the hill right now. And once again, head up once again past the grandstands right now. Checkered flag is in the air. Can Zelensky do it? He's going to do it right here. Round one of the V8 Super Truck Series is going to go to Bobby Zelensky.
Absolutely sensational battle there, and you can see the likes of those who are coming in, the likes of Matt Buser. Without that spin, how would have he played into affairs then? We saw he came in at the same time as Zelensky. We could have seen battles coming off the road, and well, there are still battles going on. There's Kruthoff there and Kapal who are going to have a little bit of a drag race. I think Kruthoff there is going to just hold on to things for the moment. Not quite close enough as there. Kapal can't get it side by side.
No contact. Good contact. Garia is going to go on the wall. They're going to go side by side. Jackie Lauderman, I think, just put Garia in the wall right there coming to the line.
Oh, well, you certainly say he is the Maverick. And actually, it's the other way round there. Lotterman there, you saw Gargila there. He got himself off the grass then. Had to try and get it sorted. They came together, and somehow they all sorted it out without too much more instant there. Very, very lucky when all was said and done there, Cisco.
Wow, what a battle to the line between the 30 and the 103, but I think that's going to wrap everyone up. Everyone crossing the line. And it looks like Dreischars, wow, what a battle across the line. He nearly got Kurt Corral there, wasn't able to get the gap. And they're finally finishing out the rest of this field here. Looks like single file for the most part all the way through. The last battle maybe is going to be Josh Mertz. He's not going to have anything, though, for John Medeiros. And it looks like finally Zelensky can take a sigh of relief because this race is going to go official here.
Yeah, it certainly is, and well, congratulations to him. He certainly made everyone a little bit worried there with S-House coming in. But, you know, that is one of those things then that happens here, Cisco. You're pushing, you start making mistakes, and it's about the resolve, how to correct those mistakes and make sure that you come home with the result you want.
Needless to say, not the night Matt Busa wanted, but it was the night that Bobby Zelensky wanted. Let's take a look at your full field rundown right here. Bobby Zelensky, he's going to bring home the victory right now. Mika S-House is going to come home second. Sven Kamertz is going to come home third. Matt Busa is going to come home fourth. And Ryan Castelline, he's going to finish fifth.
Joe Gruber then a solid drive into 6th position. James King then just fell off the edge of the cliff, then finishing in 7th. Sergio Real then will beat Kruithoff to the line with Martin Capel there in 10th.
11th is going to go to Jackie Lonerman there. Michael Gargia there is going to finish 12th. Craig Williams is going to finish 13th. 14th is going to go to David Barclow. And Bram Rainers is going to finish 15th.
Daniel Thompson then 16th position then in that train with Joshua Ibiza there. JJ Rimmer 18th position, not the day that he would have liked then at the office. Clifton Cockrell then 19th and running out the top 20 there, Kyle Steichels.
Jake Robinson's going to finish 21st. 22nd is going to go to Ben Burnett. John Medeiros is going to finish 23rd. Josh Mertz is going to finish 24th. 25th going to go to Aaron Stowe. Borja Casal is going to finish 25th. 27th is going to go to Douglas Wyatt, and 28th, rounding out your field, is going to be Victor Lobato Lopez. Well, we need to take a little bit of a breather right here. We are out of breath. We're going to catch up with your podium and whoever else we can get to talk to us after these short messages. You've been watching the Sox Out Racing, iAnalyzeRacing.com V8 Super Truck Series live from Interlagos. Throwing that truck sideways. You are having a whole lot of fun out there, but that was nuts out there.
Oh yeah, that was a really good time. It was a lot of fun, but those tires were gone, and I was just trying to get everything I could out of them really, and keep Mika behind me and try to get this win. And man, it was a ton of fun.
I mean, we were watching the battle between you and S-House, and it looked almost like Ambrose Keselowski style. You guys were off the circuit at a couple points there. It was a battle royale, and I mean, your teammate was up with you earlier, had some accident later on that took Busa out of this thing, but Zelensky, you, my friend, put on a great show here. What else happened in this race?
Yeah, it was just I think for the next round we're gonna have to figure something out on the long run at least, or with our tire pressures, because I tried something on the tire pressures, and I think that's where I was getting my long run woes from. So we're gonna have to look for that for the next round. But yeah, that first caution was right away, so we really didn't get those first few laps in. But yeah, after that I was kind of equal with my teammate Busa, and I saw Mika like creeping and creeping up behind him. So I knew Mika was going to be a strong player as soon as I saw him just closing in on us. And then I guess they got together. I didn't look at it, but that was unfortunate for Matt. But yeah, so, from there on, I planned on pitting right at halfway, even though we only had about 9 laps on the tires, just because I was so loose already. And I made a couple adjustments in pit road, and it didn't really work. But I just had a really bad issue with some wheel hop later in the run, and I'm just glad we were able to hang on to it there. Mika was flying there, but I don't know what else to say. It was just a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of the races in this league.
Absolutely, Bobby. We head to the Texas Road Course next week. What are your thoughts as we head towards that?
I don't really know. I've never ever driven on that road course before, so I'll definitely get my practice in and try to figure out some different things with our setup to make us better on the long run, because we don't want to, even though it was a lot of fun being loose and all over this place, that's not really what we want. But just going to look forward to that race and have more fun there and get as best result as we can.
All right, Bobby. Well, you finish on top of that podium tonight. Sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done for you in the 83 team?
Oh yeah, shout out to everyone at SOR for putting on an awesome league. I've always wanted to do a league with a NASCAR type vehicle on the road and just road courses. So I'm glad they did this league, and I'm super appreciative of all the work they do. And shout out to my teammate Matt Busa. We teamed up for this league, and he's a cool dude, and look forward to doing more races with him. And thanks everyone at RaceSpot for the awesome broadcast.
Well, that's Bobby Zelensky. He's your winner here from Interlagos. Bobby, well, I guess we'll see you on Tuesday, won't we?
Yeah, that is true.
That's Bobby Zelensky. We'll see him on Tuesday in the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, but he gets the win here at Interlagos. And I'm going to send it down to Jake Sperry. He's caught up with our second place finisher here, and that's Mika Eshouse.
Mika, a day where it all starts to kick off for you. You were the fastest man in practices the day before. Momentum seemed high. Qualifying not as brilliant as maybe you would have liked, half a second off the pace. But for you, though, making those gains at the start, though, you saw that battle coming back into it with Busa and Zelensky.
Yeah, like halfway through the stint, I started to notice that I was gaining on them. Just seems like I maybe have a little bit more pace over them on once the tires start to wear down. But overall, pretty good race. I didn't expect to get second, although that was kind of due to my contact with Matt as well, which I'm sorry for. He was just stuck behind his teammate, couldn't go any faster, and I misjudged how fast they were going. Just a slight tap, and that sent them around, so really sorry for that.
Of course, you did make the strategy call to go one lap later, and it seemed from us in the box that you had the better race strategy then in terms of your setup, and bringing that gap in a few tenths every lap. How does that feel then, knowing that you have that carrot dangling in front of you and knowing that you were chasing it as hard as you could?
Well, you've always got to watch out with these cars to not overdo it, because you'll kill the tires extremely quickly. But yeah, I was just trying to stay smooth, not get the tires heated up, not try to get sideways. And going a lap further was purely just so I could get the 1 bonus point for leading a lap. So
yeah, that 1 bonus point for leading a lap seems to be the key then for you moving forward. You've got Texas coming up. But the one thing I do need to point out, though, is that penultimate lap where it did start to go away. You were all over the back of Zelensky, coming down into the Bico de Pato. And for you, almost taking the back out of it, taking a bit of the grass, was it one of those things where you saw the door open and, didn't quite work out the way you planned?
It's just I think I'm just a little bit later than him on the brakes, and that caught me out there. So unfortunate, kind of killed my chances for the win, but still happy with second. So
certainly is. Any shout-outs you'd like then for your second place finish then this evening?
Yes, Stephen for putting on this great series. Been with them for a year now, pretty much. So always enjoy racing these cars on a road course.
Always enjoys doing the racing. Second place then for Mika Eshouse here this evening. Cisco, who you found in the box then?
I'm down here with Sven Kamertz here, who finishes on the third step of the podium. And Sven, a very kind of calm for you race up there. You were kind of out on your own for a lot of the race here. Talk us through it.
Hi, yeah, that's exactly what happened basically. For the second stint, I was alone on track, both fights ahead of me, both fights behind me, and basically I just decided to save my tires and make sure I had them for the end of the race basically.
Well, you did a great job of that. You had a very quiet day. I mean, you gained a spot from where you started, but I mean, we kept looking back to you, and you were kind of just a man all on your own out there. Must have been nice though not to have to worry about getting past or having to, drive all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. I must say I got unlucky. I've gotten lucky with getting third place because without the instant ahead of me, I wouldn't have gotten it, to be honest. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
You got to be happy. You got a clean truck leaving Interlagos. We head to Texas in March. Walk us through that, because we talked to Zelensky about it. He said he'd never driven on that track before. What are you thinking?
I've never driven on the track either, so it'll also be a brand new experience for myself.
All right, Sven. Well, sponsors, shout-outs. Who gets it done for you in the 66 team?
Obviously, Blackadder Motorsport, I've always given great support. And I also want to give a shout out to Socks Out Racing. Obviously, they always provide great racing on track. So,
all right. Well, that's gonna be Sven Kamertz, and he's gonna finish third on the podium. And Jake, I am gonna have to butt in and steal fourth place from you, because Mr. Matt Busa getting it done for Club Illinois for Peak. Matt, congratulations on a fourth place finish, but it wasn't what you wanted. Little bit of contact during the race. What happened?
Yeah, the first few laps of the race was a lot of fun with me and Bobby there racing for the lead, and then Mika, I think his name is, came up and caught us when we were racing, and first chance he got right behind me, just a little bit of contact, and I got turned around, and that was pretty much the end of it. Then just kind of rode around and got by whoever was in fourth to get fourth place.
Well, still, Matt, you had a great run here, and you've kind of been leading the charge that we've been seeing from Gale Force and your team, kind of a lot more road racing for you. You get to show your stuff here in the Camping World truck. I mean, we saw you in Blancpain. We see you out here tonight. This has got to give you confidence, just for this whole GFR road program.
Yeah, ever since 2 years ago, we really started doing a lot of road stuff on Gale Force with the GT3 cars, and decided to make a push for pro in the Blancpain series and made that. And now doing some fun leagues like this just gets a lot more experience on the road side, and road has always been one of my favorite things to race in iRacing. I always do the Mazda Cup series. I think that's such a fun car, and have a good group of guys that run that and have a lot of fun brawls.
Well, Matt, I'm going to ask you, because so far the two people I've talked to about it haven't even driven it before. Texas road course, what are your impressions?
I think I've driven a couple laps on it, but it was probably years ago when I think it was Scott Speed hosted a fun Mazda road course league, and I do not remember that track at all, so I guess we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Well, Matt, you finished fourth here. Sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done for you and your team?
Just a shout out to Gale Force Racing and the NX group. We're working together for Peak, and looking forward for that race here in a couple of days, and hopefully it's a great season in Peak, Blancpain, and in this league.
All right, well, that's Matt Busa. He finishes fourth here, and I'll give the mic back to Jake, who's probably staring at me angrily because I stole his interview, but I wanted to get in with you there, Matt. Have a good day, and we'll see you in March. Actually, we'll see you on Tuesday, rather.
Thank you.
All right, Jake, you can club me over the head with the microphone now. Who you caught up with?
Well, I have Ryan Castelline here with me right now, and well, clubbing over the head aside here, Ryan, we're seeing everything that's happening right now. We saw that race for you. It didn't quite end up the way you wanted. You still got a great result in yourself in P number 5, but for you, spent most of the day stuck behind Kamertz and fighting for around that podium there or thereabouts. You have to take some positives coming out of it in that you had a really nice race pace, starting 8th on the grid.
Yes, that was really fun. I don't know what happened in that second run, but I just ran out of tire. The first run I felt like I managed the tires pretty well, and I was really racy with Sven. But that second run, I had no tire left, and Matt Busa just came out of nowhere on me.
Certainly did come out of nowhere, but for you, you know, the pit stop strategy seemed to be a key factor coming into this race. For those drivers who are looking to try and go longer and longer, you know, it started to become a little bit less beneficial in terms of that run. You know, for you, you did have Matt Buser closing in like a freight train coming in behind you, but, you know, you still made +3 for the day. You've got to be happy with that result.
Oh yes, I'm very ecstatic. I was a little worried starting where I was starting. I was worried I was going to get caught up in something in turn 1. I almost got caught up in it, but really happy finishing where I'm finishing. Look forward to the next race.
Certainly will be looking forward to the next race, but it will be a month away from right about now. So for you, a track that nobody's really driven in, a car that finds it itself a little bit more difficult at times, and that month gap, do you think they'll be using that month to really try and work on this car, work on that course, and really get yourself moving forward and potentially up into a podium scrap?
Yes. I'm gonna look forward to practicing this next track. I mean, it's something completely different. I don't think I've ever even actually seen the layout. I have no idea where the track goes, and the very interesting thing is going to be figuring out how people actually race on the track and where to pass and everything like that. And definitely be putting some laps in at my own time.
Certainly will be, and well, of course, 5th place means that you meet the magic top 5. So any shout-outs that you'd like to go? Anyone you'd like to thank?
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody at iAnalyze Racing and everybody at Socks Out Racing for putting on this awesome show, and of course you guys with RaceBot TV for broadcasting it. It was really fun, and really can't wait until next month.
Can't wait till next month. Ryan Castelline then in 5th position. Cisco, you have to say, it was a pretty exciting debut then, you could say, for this series. And, well, if that was any form of the introduction, you have to make sure that you're here next month.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of scared now, Jake. I mean, everyone we talked to said, oh, well, I've never driven there, or I haven't driven there in years. The Texas road course. I'll be honest, I don't even I know the circuit offhanded, but I'm more familiar with the Atlanta road course. But that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it certainly will, and what you do have to remember, though, in a race like that where you don't quite know how the track works up, it's a game of adaptability. The person who will get himself into that best position, into the top position, is going to be that driver who puts in the most effort and gets himself to the top of the table. I wouldn't be surprised here, Cisco, if we have 2 different race winners in 2, and I wouldn't be even more surprised to see a driver who wasn't quite there at Interlagos make his way through the field.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to thank our sponsors, iAnalyze Racing. iAnalyze Racing is the official data analysis software of the V8 Super Truck Series and the premier iRacing aftermarket add-on. Tightly integrated with iRacing, iAnalyze Racing provides a comprehensive set of voice commands and data analysis to aid drivers in improving their on-track performance. Get your subscription today at www.ianalyzeracing.com. Of course, we want to remind you, don't forget to vote for the Socks Out Racing Hard Charger Award. The recipient will receive 1 free month of iAnalyze Racing, and all you have to do is head over to @SocksOutRacing on Twitter to vote. That's @SocksOutRacing. We want to, of course, thank the administration team, of course, Managing Director Steve Burbage, Systems Admin Nash Hendry, and Community Liaison Christian Challoner for helping get this league off the ground. If you want to find out more about the league and how you can join, check out www.socksoutracing.com. You can find them on Facebook. Facebook.com/SocksOutRacing, and like I said, @SocksOutRacing on Twitter. And of course, stay up to date with everything here on RaceSpot TV. You can check out a full broadcast lineup on www.racespot.tv, Facebook.com/RaceSpotTV, or @RaceSpotTV on Twitter. Of course, my Twitter, V3RT627. Jake is @Jake_Sperry. Chris Murdoch will be with us in March, C Murdoch 32, and Paul Smith is @SmilerBull. But for all of us here at RaceSpot TV, for myself, Cisco Scaramuza, Jake Sperry, and our director, Paul Smith, this has been the Socks Out Racing, iAnalyzeRacing.com V8 Super Truck Series. We'll see you in March in Texas, but until then, keep it safe out there, and thanks for watching.
usage.
averaging 0.10 gallons per lap.
Pit stop, add 5 gallons, change right side only.
Hitbox in 10, 9, 8, 1. Bingo. 10-4, adding 5 gallons, changing right side tires.